Hello everyone, welcome to SIUK India webinar. Thank you for joining us today. We are now live with the University of Exeter. Today we have Becca and Radhika with us who will let us know more about this special webinar session. Please feel free to post all the questions on the chat box on the right. We will answer all the questions after the presentation during the Q&A session. So let's start. Over to you, Becca.
Hello and good afternoon. It's a pleasure to speak to you today. I'm Rebecca and I am Head of International Student Recruitment for the University of Exeter Business School. Today I'm going to give a series of presentations and give you lots of information about the business school. Please keep on posting lots of questions so I can tell you more. So, the University of Exeter is located in the beautiful southwest of Cornwall. We are split on a number of different campuses. So our biggest campus is Streatham campus, but we also have a campus down in Cornwall, and that's called our Penryn campus. It is voted the second best university campus in the UK. And as you can see, there's lots of gardens around the campus. The southwest is a very warm part of the UK, and it's about 2.5 hours west of London by train. Just going to show you a quick video of what the city of Exeter looks like. The city of Exeter is an old city. It goes back over 2,000 years old. You can actually see a lot of the medieval buildings where J.K. Rowling, when she was a student, got inspiration for Harry Potter. We also have a beautiful cathedral. There's lots of places to eat out and drink and shopping, and we have a national park, Dartmoor, very close to us. Students like the university and the city because it's very safe. It's one of the top 10 safest places in England to be. It's very good for your overall student experience, and we're the 46th most international university worldwide. We're also a very friendly city, and we've been seen as the friendliest city in England with a strong sense of community. So there's lots of reasons on why you want to be in Exeter. Now, the university is about a 15-minute walk from the city centre, and this is the picture of the Streatham campus. So I'm based over here in the business school. And you can see there's lots of accommodation around the outside of the campus, and just how beautiful our garden campus university is. I'm now going to show you some drone footage of what the campus looks like. So when you're a student at the university, you can join one of 6,500 international societies. We've got 6,500 students, and you can join over 180 clubs and societies. So as you can tell, it's a really diverse campus. We also are very good at our sports. We welcome international athletes and novices, and there are 100 sports clubs and societies to join. We're consistently a top 10 sports university in the UK, and we've invested over £25 million into our sports and clubs. So between the different societies and clubs, there's lots of activities to take part in. International UG and PGT students are guaranteed accommodation as long as you meet our deadlines. Accommodation is either on campus or in the city centre and varies from catered to self-catered, standard, ensuite or studios. Applications for our accommodation open in April. We also have 24-hour facilities such as our library, where there's more than 1 million books and also significantly more digital resources. We have high-speed internet. We also have the Exeter app, our digital learning and digital hubs. Careers is really important to all of our students, and we have an award-winning careers service. There's the opportunity to work up to 15 hours per week, and you'll also be able to apply for the PSW work scheme afterwards. So we want to make sure you're gaining those skills while you are studying. We'll also help you find jobs, and for our master's students, we start giving you employability skills before you've even arrived to the campus. Few photos of what our facilities, sports and clubs and societies can look like. This is our Penryn campus, so it's a slightly different experience. It's more of an outdoorsy, it's a smaller campus, but it does have sustainability, environment at the core of what we're doing. And as a business school and a university, we do believe very strongly in building a more sustainable world and leadership for a better world of tomorrow, because we've got to make sure that we do live more sustainably. So why Exeter? We are a member of the Russell Group. So the Russell Group are the most elite universities, equivalent to the Ivy League in the US. We have 27,000 students from over 150 countries. We have an extensive alumni network. There are 6,500 staff from 101 countries. We're also ranked very highly, both in the CWTS, the QS and the Times Higher. We also have 5 stars from QS. We've been praised by Public England for our response to COVID, and our research is ranked among the most influential in the world. Wellbeing and welfare support is available to you 24 hours a day. We don't know what's happening with COVID. Currently, life is getting back to normal in the UK. Teaching is face-to-face, and we're encouraged to wear face masks once we're indoors, and ventilation is very high. However, if the pandemic goes to a point where perhaps it's not like Omicron, it's a worse variant, we will always look after your safety first. We also organise airport pickups. There's international buddy schemes as well. So there's lots of different facilities and support, making sure that your welfare and your well-being is at the forefront of what we do as a university. It's a quote from one of my undergraduate students who came from India, and she is saying her lecturers were very supportive of her flying back home before the end of term to be safe. This was right at the start of the pandemic, and we've actually had students this year who were studying remotely. So some of our students are on campus, some students are doing remote study because they haven't always been able to get those flights. And I know I'm starting to fly now, and flights have not always been that easy. So keep up with all of our communication. So we're assuming that come September, all students will be learning face-to-face. However, if the world changes and we need to change our learning and how we're teaching, we will communicate with you. So very much on why Exeter Business School. Now there's the top business schools in the world have what's called triple accreditation. This puts them among the very top 1%. And we are a triple accredited business school. We teach a range of different subjects from accounting, business analytics, economics, entrepreneurship, finance, human resource management, investment management, marketing, MBA, and tourism. And here's another photo of Building 1. The business school comprises at Streatham campus of 3 buildings, Building 1, Streatham Court and XFI. We are actually one of the oldest business schools to be teaching finance in the UK. We have facilities such as our Bloomberg trading room. You can also see we have our Harvard-style lecture theatres, and there's lots of different breakout cafe spaces as well. So why Exeter Business School? We have courses ranked in the top 100 of the QS. This includes Global Masters of Finance. We also have courses ranked in the top 150 by QS, including our Masters of Management. As you can see, there's a range of different programs here with very high world-class rankings and European rankings. And within the UK rankings, we're also very strong. So this means that when you come to Exeter, people know the university. They know that Exeter students are very bright. As well as our rankings, we also work with a number of different accreditation bodies and professional bodies. And I've just put some of our professional bodies over on this slide. And I'm just going to show you a quick video of what the world might look like in the future.
85% of jobs that will exist in 2030 haven't been invented yet. The future of work is dynamic and unpredictable. Now more than ever, future leaders need to be agile, equipped with the skills to succeed in a complex, connected, and global future.
I think that's really important, that video. It's explaining that we think change is slow, but I think what COVID has taught us is during this period, there's been some real rapid change. And it's not just about equipping yourself for the job of tomorrow, it's about equipping yourself for the jobs for the next 40 years. And how do we work in this very complex world that we're all facing ourselves? You will find that our academics are from all over the world. So for example, Professor Bill Peng, he is the Programme Director and he's also the Associate Dean for MSc Programmes and the Interim Associate Dean for Global. He joined the university in 2006 and he's also a CFA Chartered Analyst as well as an accounting and finance expert. Bill, as well as attending meetings with me, also lectures. And I think having that balance of doing your research, having the lecturing really does give you that cutting edge learning and knowledge that we have at the university. Now, the planet's this week is in quite an interesting place. Last month, there was more peace in the world. This month, we're seeing Russia invade Ukraine. What does that mean for the world? What do we need to be as business leaders to create a world for a better place?
Our relationship with nature is growing.
The inequality has gone up in almost every country. Saving up from ourselves by widening that. Well, we need to make sure they don't repeat some of the errors they have made. When the public and the private sector come together, we're going to see massive strides. You level up across our society, you feel that.
relationship.
I think that video really does highlight what we want to do within our research, and also what we're looking for in our future leaders. We must be more environmentally sustainable. So making sure that we are actually having environment. We had more academics at COP26 in Glasgow than any other university in the UK, and they all travelled by train. We need to preserve the natural world, but also we do need to grow businesses. So how do we do that? How do we make sure that we are more sustainable? Responsible leadership is also really important. Circular economies is one of our big research areas. But also having a look at what the Kremlin are doing, say, in Ukraine at the moment, when you're seeing the responses of businesses. If you're an everyday Russian citizen, life is now much harder. You're not in the SWIFT banking system. Visa, MasterCard are no longer working. Coca-Cola is now withdrawing sales. So is McDonald's. So as companies respond to what's happening, it's making a big impact. There's also the way that digital and technological transformations are occurring and how we're using those networks. So at the university, we are one of the leading institutions. We've achieved this by striving to be the best, bringing together inspirational and internationally respected business teachers from around the world. We work in an environment that combines historical and intellectual heritage with modern facilities. And you'll see that our whole suite of postgraduate programs span all areas of business, developed in consultation with industry partners and professional accreditation bodies to ensure that you stand out from the crowd. So, the career zone. We are the #1 business school for graduate prospects out of all business schools in the UK. Skills and events include various training. You'll see employer presentations. You might want them to have a CV for, say, the UK market, India. There's coaching, there's webinars. Go to all of those different sessions. The My Career Zone is an online platform where you can look for jobs, both part-time, internships and graduate level roles. You also, as a graduate, have access for life. We engage with over 4,000 employers through Handshake, and 80% of our students who fill out their interest on Handshake are messaged by employers. Postgraduate students have pre-arrival career support, and we also have a China and India Careers Ready program to help you find jobs in India upon graduation and after PSW, if you did want to stay for the PSW. Going to quickly just talk about some of our undergraduate programs. When you apply for our undergraduate, you have the option of a 3-year program, or you can go for the 4-year. The 4-year, you have the option of with year abroad, which is in one of our 60 university partners, and they are globally all over the world. Or you can apply for it with industrial experience. Now, what I would say is when you are looking for a job, acquiring all of these different skills is so important. You will have a good degree by going to the University of Exeter, but also develop those personal transferable skills. That's where joining the clubs and societies can be really important. Your career management, work experience, or even volunteering and being passionate. We had work experience students on placement, and these are some of the places where our students did go on work experience on their industrial placement year. And as you can see, 90% of our students who did go on with industrial experience year gained a first or a 2-1 compared to those who didn't. And typical salaries are between 19 and 23, but some of them can be higher. Undergraduate students can also, when they are at the university, they don't put this down on their UCAS application, have the option of gaining proficiency with entrepreneurship or proficiency in leadership. So you'll do a dedicated number of modules in order to have this proficiency, and it's open to all students throughout the university, not just the business school. Our undergraduate courses are split into accounting and finance, business management and economics. So if there are any undergraduate students and they're wondering how we make offers, what I would say is for our international, you need to look down on the contextual offers. We also have a lot of information on our India pages, and there's a couple of really good links going through about our offer making. And I think this is really important. Offers will be made on whichever entry requirement, typical or contextual, are closest to your predicted grades. So if your school counsellor or your school are sending us grades that are much higher and in line with our typical offer, that's the offer we will make you. It's worth having some time looking at this, and if there are any undergraduate students, I can take you through our offer making process to help you explain. But breaking this down, what courses do we offer at an undergraduate level? We have a number of programs. Some of them have a high degree of flexibility, others have slightly less degrees of flexibility. So for example, business and management is our rigorous but very flexible program, whereas the BSc marketing and management will have a number of optional modules, but it'll be less flexible. We also have business analytics, business, international business and modern languages, and we have 2 courses that are taught down on our Penryn campus. And these are very much around sustainability. So BSc Business is focused very much on ethics and sustainability, whereas Business Environment is a multidisciplinary program combining the teaching of our EMPS faculty, which is environment, management, environment, maths, physics and science, with our business school. So you have that environmental science and also your business management combined together. With our economics programs, these are split into high maths and lower maths levels. So if you love maths, you might want to look at the economics, economics of finance, or economics and econometrics. If you like economics, but you're perhaps not quite so keen on that mathematical, quantitative side, economics of business and economics of politics have a lower maths requirement. And finally, our accounting and finance. And if you do want to go on to accounting professions, the accounting and finance gives you the maximum number of exemptions with the major accounting bodies, and they do vary depending on the bodies. So I've put in the number of maximums exemptions you can get, but it does depend on which modules you take. So postgraduate. The postgraduate offering is split into accounting and finance, business management, science, innovation, technology, entrepreneurship, economics, and the MBA. The entry requirements do vary, and they also, you'll see the IELTS vary. Some of the courses will have an IELTS 7. The IELTS 7 courses do tend to mean you'll be having to do quite a lot of writing, such as dissertations. The MBA has a consultancy project, and I've put in whether you've got the option of a 9-month or 12-month. 9 months normally typically means you are doing taught modules only, whereas the 12-month you will then have your research dissertation point. The new course we're launching for September this year is our digital marketing. And moving across to our science, innovation and technology programs, you can see that actually we have an MSc, Business and Environment, Global Operations Management, and a regenerative tourism program, and what the entry requirements are. So we can always go through these in a little bit more detail slightly further on anyway, but it just shows the range of programs we do have. Within our finance, our flagship program, and for anyone that does want to do CFA, that would be the financial analyst and fund management. We've also got accounting and finance, finance and investment, finance and marketing, finance and management, and money, banking and finance. And finally, we have a number of our economics programs, including MSc Economics, Financial Economics, Financial Technology, and Money, Banking and Finance. As a university, we also are a member of the QTEM. There's only one other university in the UK that has QTEM membership, and that is Warwick. You could also gain 2 masters with our double degree programs, and that would be in Fudan in China or Grenoble in France. And there are short-term study opportunities with a number of our master's programs. If you did want to apply for the QTEM, you will have to sit a GMAT. No entry to our courses require GMAT. However, QTEM is globally competitive, so you would be looking at a score of at least 600. To apply for the QTEM, you have to have an offer with us, and when you start, you can apply by emailing outbound@Exeter. The one caveat with QTEM is because you finish your QTEM abroad, you would not be able to apply for the graduate immigration route. So it's worth thinking about, but knowing that it does mean that the graduate immigration route is not available. And this is the universities globally who are members of QTEM. And as you can see, there are some of the very best business schools worldwide as members of the QTEM program. So you might be thinking, do I want to do marketing or do I want to do digital marketing, and what's the difference? Oh, the digital marketing very much focuses on the practical application. You'll take a broad skill-based approach in your learning. You'll also see that we do actually have very strong rankings for our marketing in terms of graduate prospects. We're number 4th in the UK, and you'll be prepared for a variety of different roles relating to marketing, communications, public consumption. So it is a really exciting area, and I think digital marketing as an area is only going to grow as well. And understanding and hearing from industry and trends is so important. For anyone thinking of doing the FAFM course, this will start with a 3-week induction bootcamp training. We offer scholarships to students who opt to take level 1 or 2 during their programme. We'll also take you to those exams. You will enjoy access to our financial lab hosting major databases, including Bloomberg and Thomson Reuters. You get to participate in the Global Ethics Challenge, analysing CFA case studies. There's a lot of information around the CFA and also our FAFM course, and this is our true flagship financial programme within the business school. For anyone thinking of doing accounting and finance, this is to really gain deeper knowledge of accounting and finance to enter the career in either field. You'll gain a really solid understanding. Again, you'll be leading with our data stream, Thomson Reuters, and database software. There'll be a number of speakers as well. Finance and investment, you'll see that the learning is slightly different in term 1 and 2. You'll do 75 credits per term, and term 3 you do 30 credits. This was the very first finance degree established in the UK. And there'll be graduates from the programme have secured a number of jobs, including Coots, KPMG, HSBC. So it really does have a strong history of employment. Money, banking and finance is another really good option to consider. So especially if you're thinking, I'm not sure which area of finance I want to go into. And for the finance and marketing, there's a couple of different pathways within this course. You can go on the general pathway, or you can go on the Chartered Institute of Marketing pathway, or the Chartered Banker pathway. So it's worth having a look through the web pages and working out which pathway you do want to consider. Our MSc Masters in Management is my favourite programme. This starts with the boot camp. You get to study with students from all over the world. There's no need to have any work experience, and you have a dedicated careers coach. You can either do the taught or the 9-month programme or the 12-month programme with a business project or a dissertation. It gives you fresh approaches, and you'll also look at how to grow your knowledge, such as strategies, future trends, leadership, operation management, marketing, and business analytics. For anyone thinking of joining the MBA, our MBA students have on average 9 years of work experience. We recruit around 45 students, and the average age is 32. And you can see here that we like to keep the MBA very global. Few of our MBA students, the MBA careers coaching and personal branding is very much designed to give you a full understanding of yourself as a successful and innovative professional in today's global business landscape. You will be provided with a one-to-one careers coaching, and there'll be a range of careers fairs and events. This is some of the past projects, and you'll have to work with a consultancy project and design and help them with a challenge they're facing. And it will propel you into senior management or consultancy roles after graduation. I'm sure there's been a number of questions around scholarships, so I have put up the tuition fees here to give you an indication of what our prices are and an indication of where our undergraduate prices are, and also how the accommodation prices can vary. But obviously, if you want, say, an ensuite or catered, accommodation prices can go up. I've put the prices here for, say, a standard room. So, how do you apply for a scholarship? It's really important you get your applications in nice and early. So apply now, and once you're an offer holder, you can then apply for the Global Excellence Scholarships. We have them available at both an undergraduate and a postgraduate. They are competitive, so it is for students that do have better academic grades, and putting time and thought into your personal statements for your scholarships is really important. In terms of English language tests, we accept a number of different tests. This includes IELTS, IELTS indicators, Pearson's, TOEFL, and there are a number of home tests. I've also put the links here for our English language requirements, so you can scan this so you can look at more information, but we've put the rough IELTS and TOEFL scores up for you. Hopefully, that's answered lots of different questions, but I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and then I can answer any more questions for you.
Thank you, Becca. That was a really lovely presentation. There were so many questions out there that I can see on the chat, but most of them are covered. So scholarships, you have already spoken about scholarships and also posted a link in the chat for you all to go through. Also about the English language requirements, typically what you have just talked about, IELTS score of 6.5 for most of the programs. And for some programs, it's IELTS score of 7. So you can look at individual program pages for the English language requirements. We do have posted links in the chat box for you all to go through. So do go through that. I think we have received a couple of questions regarding the application process. So if you want to apply for University of Exeter for a postgraduate program, it's very simple. Go on our website, go on the course that you want to apply for, and then you can start with the application process. All you need is academic transcript, A degree certificate. If you do not have a degree certificate, go for a provisional one, and you can submit the degree certificate later on as well. Then your English language requirement, which is your IELTS, TOEFL, Pearson, any of the scores that you have, along with a personal statement of no more than 500 words. Please keep it small and stick to the word limit. And we want one academic reference. That's absolutely necessary. So if you have all of these documents, you can start with the process. There's no application fee, and we aim to make a decision within 20 working days. We will make sure that we give out a decision to you. We do have scholarship. So I think there is a question on how to get the scholarship. So our scholarship criteria is academic merit, and all you have to do is apply for the scholarship once you have an offer letter from us. So once you have an offer letter, go on the link that I have just provided, you apply for it, and the deadline is 22nd of April, and we then come out with an outcome after that. So you have time for applying for scholarships as well. Regarding questions regarding extension of fee deposit for offer acceptance, yes, you can request for a deposit extension. If you have facing any issues in arranging the funds at the moment, we can do that. What I'll do is I post an email ID. We have an India team available to you. If you have any questions, any queries, you can just drop an email to us about deposit extensions and things like that, and we'll help you out in every way possible. So I'm just posting a link, posting an email ID for you all. You can just go through that ID and you can just email it to us. So I think that covers a lot of questions about application process. So I have a question for you, Becca, which was coming a lot many times, which was about business analytics. So what internships and placement opportunities are available for students after masters in business analytics?
So business analytics is very much a growing area. So you will be doing coding as part of the course, but every business knows that it has to innovate and it has to make data-led decisions. We also know that even the university, the people that I rely on very heavily are my analysts and my data. If I'm going to invest quite heavily, say in a new market, or and if you've got to think about these decisions as a business, what is the data telling me? Where can I start building up? So actually having analysts, I think, is a skill that is going to grow in importance, because if you don't understand data, you're never going to be able to really help a company. The other thing about business analytics is lots of people have business management degrees and they tend to be very general, whereas business analytics is that sort of more skilled area. It's slightly different and it can help you sometimes stand out from among the crowd. So actually having courses which perhaps not everybody's doing that are slightly different, I think makes a real difference. While the course doesn't have a placement, what I would say with the business analytics is by speaking to the academics, it's really important. The academics are actually from industry as well as working on the research. The course will go through a number of different modules. You'll look at programming. Most of the programming, I'm sure, is in Python. You'll also be looking at how you can build it up, because it's for analysts, it is not just looking at the data, it is showing and explaining that story to the other managers who are making those decisions and really seeing the problems. The world's becoming more and more data-led. Everything we do is becoming far more data-led. The other exciting part about the course is the business project. So doing that independent research or consultancy project, this can help then springboard you into kinds of jobs. So when you are at an interview, you can say, I've got the academic behind me, but also this is what I've been working on. So then to an employer, you go, okay, you understand Python, you've been to Exeter, you're very intelligent, and you've just been working on this problem, and this is one of the problems I'm facing as a company.
Thank you so much. So there's another question. If you can guide, if I have to choose between business analytics versus fintech course, can you please share your opinion on the same?
So, firstly, I would go with, where does your passion lie? So for my background, my degree is politics, and I knew what I really enjoyed looking at and understanding, both people, but also how the world works, especially within like GCC, African Union. As an individual, I like data. I really enjoy seeing data, but you might think, oh, actually, I want to know more about blockchain and Bitcoin. So fintech is about how, looking at Kazakhstan, what was happening in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan was doing a lot of Bitcoin because China banned it. So with the borders there, it was doing a huge amount. How the different Bitcoins are coming through. Is Bitcoin something worth investing in? Or is it like the tulips that used to be back in the 1800s when everyone was chasing the same thing? So in some ways, the skills are very similar because you will have to be analytical, but at the same time, gaining that expertise and being in a growing financial area, the fintech has more of the cybersecurity, the laws. There's quite a lot of laws that are being written around fintech. How do we make this work? But also, both of them are at the forefront. So I would say for me, fintech is more about finance and management of financial products in the sort of technological space, whereas business analytics is helping businesses using their data to become more analytical and making sure they can make informed decisions using data so that their company survives.
I think really help the student to decide between the two. These two are very popular courses, both of them, and very good courses. I've also posted links of both the programs, so you can actually have a look at the modules and then also try to make a decision yourself. So we have one more question from a student who has completed BBA in 2017 and have 4 years of film industry experience and wants to know if he can apply for MA International Film Business Program.
Oh, it's not a program that's taught just in the business school. I think you can with that experience. What we'd have to look at is your individual grades and your personal statements. So it might be worth having a look and sending your grades through to the India team, because without knowing your grades, it's really difficult to say yes or no.
Yeah, that's rightly said. So you can definitely send an email to us on India mailbox, which is india@exeter.ac.uk. We can quickly review your documents and then we can help you decide whether you can apply for the International Film Business course or not. It's a wonderful program, so you can definitely send us the documents at your own and we'll be happy to help you. There's another question that a student has got 3 years of experience in online marketing and wants to know if he can apply for masters in business and if we have any specialized course for 1 year duration.
Sorry, which course was he looking for?
So he has got 3 years of experience in online marketing and he wants to know if he can apply for MBA or if there is any specialized course of 1 year duration for the same.
I think digital marketing would probably be the best option here. 3 years wouldn't be enough work experience for the MBA. So if you're really interested in that marketing space, digital would align really closely to what he's doing. Otherwise, I think it would be a case of perhaps looking at MSc Management, which is a really good broad program and gives you many of the same skills as the MBA, but it is more for students who have less work experience.
Right. There is another question which is about are the prospects better for an advanced computer science with business as opposed to a plain advanced computer science, and what are they? The student has got 4 years of work experience in an IT field.
So for this, going back, I am old enough that when I graduated, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the world was collapsing. I've always been employed because I've worked hard, I've gone to the careers sessions, and I've made sure that actually I've taken advantage of every single opportunity open to me. My degree was not enough. If you just rely on having that piece of paper and going, I went here, give me a job, nobody's going to give you a job. It is about how you are going to round yourself. So when I was a student at university, I was a member of the Climbing Society. I was a student union president. So I had lots of different leadership skills. So to me, firstly, study something you're passionate. Because if you're like me, if you don't enjoy the subject, you don't put that much effort in. If you are a much better person than me and you can do really well in subjects that you don't enjoy, fine, go for it. So academically, do well. Don't be the quiet student at the back of the class. You have to be the student that engages, asking those questions, doing your readings, impressing your academics, going to the alumni. By doing all of this, you are opening yourself up to lots of different opportunities. So when you're asking me, what are the employability rates? I would almost say, how are you working? How are you putting yourself out there and taking those risks to get those opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, that's really rightly said. And in terms of employability, we do have a career services team who will basically guide you in all the steps of your career planning. So there is a guidance that is provided from our end. Don't worry about it. And for all the programs, in fact, business school has their own career services team who pays special attention to business school students. So you will be supported in every way possible. But of course, as Becca said, you need to do your own hard work and you need to build your own fort as well. So that's about the employability. I think we've already discussed the QTEM program, but there's another question, Becca, which says that how would QTEM help me?
So what I would say about QTEM is, as you saw the slide where actually some of the best universities in the world are members of QTEM, this goes on to your certificate. It means that out of the peers that you are going to be applying for jobs for, there's only going to be one or two ever that have got the QTEM. So it gives you that extra almost je ne sais quoi. It means you were the very best of students. It is a globally competitive. You'll also do a placement overseas. So the experience of doing QTEM does stand out. And this is where thinking about and applying for QTEM might be something you want to consider, but you will have to get a GMAT score for QTEM as well. And again, we live in a population of 7 billion people on the planet. How the person who's going to market yourself the best is you, and making sure you really stand out is so key, and what might be right for you will be different to your friend. And I think that's really important to remember as well.
That's rightly said. Do have another question, which is about a student who wants to know, he has a 1-year gap after the graduation. He wants to know if he can apply for business analytics program.
Absolutely fine. I'm 1 year, couple of years, we've been up in a turbulent world for the last couple of years. So any gaps, it doesn't matter. You can also put what you've been doing in your gap on your personal statement as well. I think in some ways, I would rather students take a break, especially with everything that's happened in the world for a couple of years, and do the course they're really sure about, as opposed to going straight from an undergraduate to a postgraduate on a program they weren't quite so sure about.
So there are questions around accommodation. Do we have student accommodation? How does it help? And do we have family accommodation? So we do have accommodations available at a university. I just posted the accommodation link. You can go through that. There are virtual tours available, so you can make a decision on which accommodation you like. your liking. There are also walking distance maps, so you would know the proximity from your school to your accommodation. All are maximum 30 minutes walk away. And we've got varied options: catered, self-catered, ensuite, shared. So there are lots of options. We do have couple-friendly options as well for you all, so that's not a problem at all. Just go on our website. Our applications for accommodations, which is the guaranteed accommodations, would start in April. So you have time to decide till then. And we do guaranteed accommodations to first year UG students and international postgraduate students. So you don't have to worry about it. You have time to apply for accommodations. So this is about accommodations. There's a question: what are the top 5 employers for Exeter University?
Oh, good question. I don't actually know. I think it varies very much by different programs. So as you saw, if I was talking about, say, my accounting and finance, our graduates go on and work for all of the big 4. What I would say is, if I was here talking to about the engineering school, they would have very different employers that they work with, like Rolls-Royce, EDF. So in terms of where you want to go and what kind of degree you're looking at, the employers might be very different, and that's where you'll see so many different employers. And the fact that we work with over 4,000 employers.
Thank you, Becca. That was very, very informative. I hope we have covered all the questions. Deepika, do you think that we have missed out on any questions?
No, it's been fantastic to speak to you. And if you do have any questions, feel free to email us. SIUK are very informative and they know us as well. And thank you for listening.
Thank you. I think we have covered all the questions from the chat box. Many thanks for answering all the questions so well with your knowledge. And we are now moving towards the end of this seminar. I would request, if you have anything else you would like to put forward for the audience who are watching us live right now.
I would just have one, kind of a tip to students, that if you have any questions, any queries at all, you can just definitely write to us. We have a very responsive team and we try to help you and support you in every way possible. Of course, take help from SIUK, and you can also email to us at india@exeter.ac.uk. You can write to us and we'll definitely get back to you with an answer. So I hope this session was informative enough for you, and we do hope that you would apply to University of Exeter. We're looking forward for your application and looking forward to have you here. Thank you so much for listening to us.
And I think we have one more last question, if you guys like to cover up. The student is asking, regarding the prospects of advanced computer science with business. I was speaking more with regards to the modules. Is it a good and famous course?
So I think this is a very good course because it's taught in partnership with the engineering and the business school. So it has got modules of both computer science as well as management strategy related modules. So you actually have a collaborative degree where your expertise would be in both. And your project will be majority part of your master's, which will be business focused. And of course, you will be exploring data science in a commercial environment. We're very good in terms of ranking for this particular program. We are 10th in UK, according to the Times and the Sunday Times Good University Guide 2021. Also, we have partnered with the Alan Turing Institute to get a great, massive machine types and software ecosystems to work around. So all of this is very exciting. Definitely, it's a great course and you should definitely go for it. And it is a good course. Don't worry about it.
Becca, would you like to say some final words for the students?
Overall, the University of Exeter is one of the top universities globally. We're a top 150 worldwide. We have a highly research-intensive university, but also we're a very caring university, and we do look after your welfare. And I think the combination of the campus, the friendliness, and our outstanding research really does make Exeter a #1 choice. And I'm very proud to work for the university. And I also think the way that the academics and leadership for a better world will help the world and the planet make a more sustainable future for all of us.
Thank you so much, Becca and Radhika, for your kind words. To all the audience, if you have any further question, please feel free to contact our SIUK India offices. We'll be more than happy to help you. So in the end, I would like to appreciate all of you for your valuable time today. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you.